Today we're going to have a look at some mixed examples of using Pythagoras. So you're going to have to look at the diagram or the question that you're given and then interpret that and decide how to approach it. Are you being asked to work out the longest side, the hypotenuse, or are you being asked to work out one of the shorter sides? So let's have a look at the first one. So first thing we need to do is work out where the hypotenuse is. The hypotenuse is the longest side and it's always opposite the right angle. So this side here, x, is the hypotenuse. So that's our longest side. That means that we can use our normal formula, c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. And now that we know that this is the hypotenuse, this is c, and it doesn't matter which way around we put a and b here, because we're going to add them together anyway. So I'm just going to say the bottom one's a and the side one is b. But as I said, I could have labelled them the other way, it doesn't make any difference. Okay, so let's substitute in. So c is x, so that is x squared equals 5 squared plus 4 squared. So that's 25 plus 16 equals to 41. Now remember, at this point we have still been working out what x squared is. So this line equals x squared, this line equals x squared. But we need to work out what x is, not x squared. So we have to take the square root. Square root of 41. Square root of 41 comes out at 6.40403, and then loads of other numbers. And I'm going to round that to 6.4 to one decimal place. So x equals 6.4 centimetres. Okay, and the second one, again, first thing we have to do is decide where the hypotenuse is. You'll get used to just noticing that it is right opposite the right angle. Drawing in a little arrow just helps confirm that. Okay, so we're given the length of the hypotenuse. This time it's 12.5 centimetres. We're given one of the short sides, but we're not given the other. So we're going to have to use the subtracting one, which we were working on yesterday. So the difference with that one, we need to label our sides up. Again, doesn't matter which way around we call A and B here. Call the side one A and the bottom one B this time, just to be opposite to the last one. It doesn't matter which way is A and which one's B. Right, now the important part. What you're looking for in your subtraction formula is the part that you're unknown, the thing we're looking for. That needs to be on its own. So that is side A. And it always equals the longest side, take away the shortest side, the squares of them. So that the longest side is always c, so c squared minus b squared. Okay, so the bit we're looking for is equal to the longest side minus the short side, squared, for all of them. Okay, we substitute our numbers in now. So x squared equals 12.5 squared minus 7.5 squared. And that comes out at 156.25 minus 56.25. Point in there. And that is 100. Remember, that is x squared that we've been working out here. So to find x, we have to take the square root. Square root of 100 is 10 centimetres. Okay, just a little point on the fact that you guys are going to be using calculators for most of this. So this line here, that's the second line. Second line once you put numbers in. You can write that in if you want to, but your calculators that you guys are using in class and probably at home will be able to handle you just typing in this whole line. These lines here. 12.5 squared minus 7.5 squared. You'll be able to type that in the calculator, press equals, and it'll give you an answer, and it'll jump you straight down to this 100. or it'll jump you straight down to 41. If you're using your phone or a less advanced calculator, you'll have to do the individual step and then subtract it yourself. But the calculators you guys are normally using in class, you can just type this in and then skip down to this line. Okay. A couple more examples. These are triangles that just look a little bit different. The important thing you always have to do, same every time, is work out where the hypotenuse is. It's always opposite the right angle. This is a right angle, which means this one here is the hypotenuse. So when I'm labelling up my triangle, that's always going to be C. The other sides, doesn't matter what order they do. I'm going to do A at the side and B at the top this time. As I said, it doesn't matter which way they are. Now, are we being asked to find a long side or a short side? Well, C, the hypotenuse is always your longest side. We've been given a number for that, so we're not being asked for the hypotenuse, we're being asked for one of the short sides. So that means we're going to use a subtracting formula. So we put the part that we want to find on its own, so A. So A squared is on its own, that equals the long side minus the other short side. Okay. Then we substitute our numbers into that. So the first one is the unknown that we're looking for, x squared equals 6 squared minus 5 squared. I'm going to put in the other line for anybody who isn't using their calculator to jump down to the next one. 6 times 6 is 36, 5 times 5 is 25. That leaves us with 11. Remember that is x squared, so to find x, we need to take the square root of 11. The square root of 11 comes out at 3.316 and then loads of other numbers. And I'm going to round that to 3.3 centimetres. Okay. A sense check that you can always do, if you're looking for a short side, the number you should get has to be smaller than the long side. If you get a number for the short side that's longer than the longest side, then you've done something wrong. In the same way, if you're looking for a long side and you come out with a number that's smaller than one of the other sides, you've done something wrong. The likelihood is that you've probably used a minus instead of a plus, or a plus instead of a minus. That's really the only way you'd end up mixing them up. Okay, last one. Again, first thing we do is figure out where the hypotenuse is. So a right angle's at the top here. That means the hypotenuse is the line along the base. Okay, so that one is going to be C. And it doesn't matter which way around I label up the other two. Okay, so the unknown part is C, so that's the longest side. So we're going to be able to use our standard formula for this one. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Substitute in. C is x. A is 4.2. And B is 8.4. As same as before, I'll put in the other one, but you might be able to skip this out depending on how you're working your calculator. 17.64 and 70.56. Add them together, it comes to 88.2. Remember that is x squared. So we now need to take the square root of 88.2. You put that in your calculator, comes out at 9.391, loads of other numbers. And I'm going to round that to one decimal place, which would be 9.4, because the 9 rounds the 3 up. Okay. Hopefully you can see from this how to decide which strategy to use. I'd like you to have a go at the exercise now. Thank you.